Hello and welcome to Andertons TV. My name is Chet Duxbury. OzPal is behind that camera. Oh my god. And today we're going to try answer the eternal question. What is the difference between the OP-1 and the OPXY? You may know because we've covered these products in depth. I'm talking really in depth. We made essentially a video manual on this one and covered this since the day it came out. A gentleman in the shop asked me to make this video because a lot of people come into the stores still and think, okay, which one is for me? Believe it or not, there are people that with enough money to make that decision between the two, and I'm going to try to talk to you and get this out of the way in about 10 minutes. If you don't know about these products, a little bit about them and what are the core differences. Let's freaking go.
Your son is a three-letter man. Have a Haagen-Dazs.
For me, the headlines are, this is all built around a sequencer workflow. This is all built around a 4-track tape machine workflow. And even there, if you've got a feeling in your heart like, oh, I like sequencers. Oh, I like 4 tracks. You've probably chosen your side there. But if you don't know what a sequencer is, which is a lot of people out there, or what a 4-track tape machine, let me try explain it and how they really influence the core differences in how you use these machines and what you might get out of them as well. So let's start with that sequencer workflow. This is the newer of the two products, and it is also the more expensive. So I'll try to address why it's a bit more money as well. Essentially in here, we have a 16-track sequencer. A sequencer is a way of making music by inputting data into a timed sequence. Imagine like a computer program and it's ticking along in time and you can insert notes, and it means that it's really handy for making things perfect, metronomic. Also, it's really handy because after the fact, you've just got all of this data that you can then use and manipulate after you've entered it as well. Other cool things about it being a sequencer workflow is the amount of storage. In here, if you're someone that is a hyper creative and you're making loads of musical ideas, this is the product for you. I think they gave no limit on the amount of projects stored in here, and that speaks to how it stores music in these data files. So we've got 8 instrument tracks and we have 8 external MIDI tracks. That speaks as well. If you're someone with a lot of equipment that can output and input MIDI, this might be the thing for you. And you probably already know that again, but if you're coming from a fresh perspective, you don't have any external gear, that won't make much of a difference, but it also speaks to where you may want to go in the future. What would you say characterizes sequence music, Oz, for you?
Techno.
Techno. Dance music, things that we might say are repetitive or pattern-based. Yeah, exactly. Here are the project. If I hit shift and this button, if it's sliding about, forgive me, these are the store demo units where you can come try these, get some headphones, play them, but we've got a little alarm system on the bottom, so it's a bit janky, that's why. It's got inbuilt factory sounds. This one's called Jack Dish. Let's go load and hit play. Exactly what you said. To me, that sounds like what Oz was saying. And also, if you've not heard this, I wanted to play an inbuilt project because you can hear the possibilities. The sound out of this thing is amazing. Easily be mistaken as a toy, but sonically they sound amazing to me. One of the killer features, I'll show you what I think the killer feature is on this one as well, but the killer feature for this is Punch-In FX, I've found. I just want to also declare my allegiances to teenage engineering. This is my OPXY and this is my original OP-1, and I bought these because I was such a fan of them. These are iterative of these designs that have been around, have been very successful. This was the #1 second-hand product on Reverb for 10 years in the tech category. And these are the two devices that these sprung from. The killer feature has carried on in this, and this Punch-In FX. So once you've made a bit of music in there and it's in here, we can go to the Punch-In FX track here and see what happens on the screen and listen to what happens. Other than getting really cool stuff on the screen happening there, you're hearing these punch-in effects, what they call. They can be done over the whole sequence and arrangement like I was using there, and they can even be done on individual tracks. So if I flick back, get to track 1, hit play, I can see there's information there. If I go shift, hear that affecting it? Turns out on the lower octave we've got effects that will affect the rhythm, and on the upper octave we'll do melodic tracks. But they can be on individual tracks or over the whole thing. And you're thinking, well, what is that sorcery? Or maybe you think, oh, I thought everything did that. But that's a really unique feature, to be able to futz with everything and it all be in time, and have a choice of like microscopic on one track to macro. That's the big powerhouse, and it speaks to the fact that a lot of people, if you've got aspirations of going out live and playing sequenced music or techno music, things like that, that would be the device for you. A quick look at how we might start a new project and how you might want to demo it in the store, other than flicking through those, is if I hit that button and I hit new and I hold it, this is a blank slate. So I'll hit the instrument track button, and let's see what we've got on track 1. Also, these are velocity sensitive, so you can input velocity, which is really cool. Wasn't available on the first 2 iterations, so that was a big upgrade. This speaks to inputting data as well. So say I like this kick drum and I want to do a 4 on the floor beat, and I don't want to play it in because we can sequence it. If I select the sound and then I hold it down, these 16 buttons represent 16 steps in time, and I can go, oh, there, do, and then if I hit play, hold this, turn the metronome down, we're off to the races. Let's find another sound. Now, instead of inputting, I can also live record. Okay, let's find some other sounds. I like having the velocity, means that even with a simple pattern, and let's go straight to that killer feature again, the Punch-In FX. And what's cool is with this, I can record that in very early doors, so and so I've morphed that very simple thing very quickly, all in time, and I didn't have to do much thinking. There's so many in here that go watch that manual, but hopefully that gives you an idea of the core flavor of that one. And comparatively, like I was saying, this is all built around a 4-track tape machine. So let's start from that core example. Again, this doesn't have any inbuilt projects like that. Because of the way it's stored onto tape and it's storing audio files, storage is at a premium. This, thousands, endless creativity. On here, there really is a limitation. That was one of the big upgrades of the old one. On the old one, I only had 1 4-track tape on here, and I think it was 6 minutes in stereo. And the other big limitation of this was that, yes, the track was in stereo, but all instruments were in mono. Massive upgrade when this came out was that the instruments themselves are stereo. The whole device is stereo. All of the effects are stereo. And that's what was the big upgrade over the original. And this is OP-1F, the field version. If I go shift and hit the tape icon, this was the big crazy thing. Look, it says Studio 4-track, and we can actually change the type of tape we record to. We can save iterations of that tape. I'm not sure how many off the bat. Again, refer to either the links or the video we did on it before. But let's just load one in. Let's load this track, and we'll go, this tape. It's going to load in the reel, and now we're presented with a blank reel of tape. And if we hit the synthesizer button here, or instrument button, these will be 8 preset slots. So we can hit this first one and see what we've got loaded in. Okay, that's cool, I dig that. This is the big difference. So on a tape, I can scroll back and forward through it. I've got 4 tracks. I want to record a 4-track loop. So I'd have to go across 1, 2, 3, 4 bars, set an out loop point, go back to, I want to record into one of these 4. Let's record into track 1. Hold record down. If you're familiar with old tape machines, this is all stuff that you know already. So I found that weirdly, when I've shown this to people of a certain vintage, they got this. Once they figured out, oh, like, hang on, I used to have a 4-track, and they're like, oh yeah. Younger people are like, oh, hang on, I don't want this workflow. But I'm holding record down, and it will record me when I start playing. If I hit play, That's a loop. That's what we got, a loop of tape going. I can flick to another track. Let's find another sound. Also, we can change the level to tape here. I'm just going to record some gibberish. Got a little loop. Let's go track 3. More gibberish. So I've recorded 3 tracks onto a loop of tape. If I hit this mixer page, I can then adjust the levels of those. So maybe I want to bring those down a bit, those 2 tracks, and I want to pan them. Left, right, hit play. Now, I'll put 1/4 track in, I'll show you this feature of you're baking in the sound. We've recorded that into the tape now. The most we can do is that, mix, pan, and maybe apply effect to the whole thing. But I want to show you can also apply effects on the way in. So let's go to track 4 and find another sound. And I'll show you the killer feature here as well. Amongst loads of other things, crazy things with connectivity and other teenage engineering products. But I love that if we load a sampler in to this slot, so I go Shift 1 and make it a sampler. And then this microphone button, we've got an FM bloody radio, and we can tune it.
Without the George,
perfect,
they would have been totally isolated.
And if I hold a key
there for the whole evening, nobody's going to chuck them out. We had people with mental health problems who used to come and just...
Perfect, amazing. So apt.
The whole evening, nobody's going to chuck them out. We had people...
So I can boost that level, and you see we've recorded stereo from the radio.
The whole evening, nobody's going to chuck...
You hear there's reverb on there? That's because here, these are like plug-in slots, so I can see the instrument. On this one, I can see the envelope. On this one, I can see we've got an effect. And this is one of the big new effects called the mother reverb. Not possible on these older products. So let's dial that in.
The whole evening, nobody's going to chuck them out. We had...
And the other great thing is,
the whole evening, nobody's going to chuck.
We can play it and pitch it around. It's so much fun. So,
the whole evening, nobody's going to...
Let's go in. Let's turn this first track down a bit. Turn these down. Rebalance it.
Can you trim the bits you've recorded with the sample?
Yeah, we can. Yeah. We can go in on this one. Because I've recorded it into the synthesizer thing, I can play it chromatically. If I wanted it, I could have recorded it into the drum slot. We want the mental health a bit, right?
Yeah.
Sick, let's do it.
We had people with mental health problems. We had people with mental health problems.
Hard, yeah.
We had people
with mental health problems.
Amazing. Now, one thing I'm going to do is I'm going to show you this secondary killer feature. I love the FM radio, but if I go back here, I'm going to record it high for this reason.
We had people with mental health problems.
Okay, you'll see what I mean. And I'm going to put loads of reverb on. Effects on. Perfect.
We had people with mental health problems. We had people with mental health problems. We had people with mental health.
This will get across the idea of the tape. Check this out.
We had people with mental health problems. We had people with mental health problems. We had people with mental...
Amazing. And not only that, if that wasn't hard enough, if we go to the mixer page, we've got an effects slot at the very end, so we can maybe put that through a cow.
We had people with mental health problems.
Right? Very silly way to show it off and in the moment. But we're kind of stuck with that little loop we made. It's on tape. If I wanted to record anything more, I could either start a new tape or just move to another bit of the tape and start a new loop. And that's how I like to work, is fill the tape up with all my little ideas. Whereas here, when I store the sequence, not only that, it's storing all the sounds that I used in the sequence. So if you're someone that really likes to work on something and revisit it, tinker, and also build out very long arrangements, because with the patterns you've made in here, with that small data, you can easily say, oh, I want to link that one with that one, with that one, that one, and make a long sequence, store it, because it's only thinking of it as a tiny data file. Whereas here, it would be a big long audio file. Again, if you're playing live, I see this as a rack of keyboards that I would play, whereas this could be my backing track. I know that's a very light look at it, but if you've never seen these before, hopefully it gives you an idea how fun and mental they are, and what an amazing company that someone's making these devices. Please go watch the original video, especially, what was his name from?
Will.
Will. Oh my God, Will was amazing. He's one of the best guests we've ever had in here, because he actually wrote the manual on the device. You get to hear it from the horse's mouth. Amazing bit of kit. Remember, we're the only shop where you can come try these back to back, I know of, in the southern hemisphere of England. But thanks for being here, Oz, and thanks for you being here, and we'll see you again soon on Andertons TV.
We had people with mental health problems. We had people with mental health problems.